Every coffee lover has faced this choice. Do you go for the quick convenience of instant coffee or the rich aroma of freshly brewed ground coffee? Some people believe that instant coffee isn't real coffee, while others can't start their day without it. But what's the actual difference between the two? And is one better for your health? Welcome to the Untold Simple. Today we're diving into the hot debate: instant coffee versus ground coffee. By the end, you'll know exactly which one deserves a spot in your cup. Coffee begins its life on farms in warm countries. The beans are picked, cleaned, roasted, and packed with that amazing smell we all know. But from this point on, their paths split. For ground coffee, the roasted beans are simply crushed into smaller pieces. Then you brew it fresh at home with hot water. And that's what gives you that strong aroma and deep, rich flavor. Instant coffee, however, takes one extra step. Big coffee companies brew huge batches, just like you would at home, but on an industrial scale. Then they remove all the water, leaving behind tiny dried granules of coffee. When you add hot water later, it rehydrates, turning right back into coffee again. And that's what makes instant coffee so quick and easy, but also what changes how it tastes. Now, if we talk about flavor, that's where the real difference shows. Ground coffee usually tastes fresher, stronger, and more complex because it's brewed right from the beans. All those natural oils and aromatic compounds stay in your cup. Instant coffee, on the other hand, loses some of that richness during the drying process. That's why it can taste a bit flat, or slightly bitter, compared to a freshly brewed cup. But hey, it's still real coffee. It's just made for convenience. So what about caffeine? Well, that depends on how you brew it. A normal cup of ground coffee usually has around 80 to 120 milligrams of caffeine, depending on how strong you make it. Instant coffee typically has a bit less, around 60 to 90 milligrams per cup. So yeah, both can wake you up in the morning. Ground coffee might hit a little harder, but the real difference comes down to flavor, not energy. Nutritionally, they're also quite similar. Both are naturally low in calories, unless of course you add sugar, milk, or cream. Instant coffee does contain a little more of a compound called acrylamide, which forms during roasting and drying. But don't worry, it's found in many foods and is harmless in small amounts. The good news is, both types are full of antioxidants, which help reduce inflammation and support overall health. But have you ever wondered how instant coffee became so popular? It actually has a pretty interesting history. Instant coffee was first made in the late 1800s, but it really took off during World War II, when soldiers needed coffee that was fast, lightweight, and easy to make anywhere. After the war, instant coffee spread rapidly across the world, and it quickly became part of daily life for millions. Later, as coffee culture evolved, people started going back to ground coffee, the kind you brew fresh, because they missed that richer taste and the culture that came with it. So at the end of the day, which one should you choose? Well, it depends on what you want from your coffee. If you enjoy the rich aroma, the deep flavor, and the little moment of peace that comes with brewing, then ground coffee is perfect for you. But if you're always in a rush or just want something quick and simple, instant coffee makes total sense. They both come from the same bean. One focuses on convenience, the other on experience. So next time you make a cup, remember, instant or ground, they're both part of the same story, just told in a different way. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which one do you prefer, instant or ground coffee? Thanks for watching The Untold Simple, and I'll see you in the next one.